All right, so this is our first talking in jiu-jitsu, the Mat and Beyond. That was a video.
Yeah, that's a good little name for it.
It's my YouTube channel, but talk with. We have here Aaron Montez talking with us about jiu-jitsu and life and just different things. Aaron, so what made you want to start doing jiu-jitsu?
So my son started, and I kind of had some brief introduction to it when I was working in narcotics in the sheriff's office. And watching my son do it, seeing how this stuff really works in reference to my profession, is beneficial. Just knowing how to safely and securely lock a person's arm, don't have to do the old brute force way like we were taught 20 years ago. It was just very much beneficial for me to do it than not to do it. Besides the extremely beneficial for me, the physicalness of it, the getting better in shape and stamina and everything else that's also beneficial for me, not just life, but in my profession. Yeah.
I mean, whenever you say getting in shape, before you started, were you in a decent shape?
Probably not. I was, I was like 260, 270.
But he's also very tall.
Yeah, 6'3"-ish.
But different between me being 270.
And the crazy thing is, you don't really realize how big you are, I guess, until later on you start doing exercise, you start doing this training, and you're sweating and you're constantly moving. That weeks go by, months go by, and your clothes start fitting different. I really didn't do anything different except train. So my diet was still garbage. I just started noticing just doing this was helping. So then, of course, to get better on the mat, so I don't just be a body, I'm actually competing with other guys on the mat that now I got to start eating better. I got to start
feel the body right.
Lay off the alcohol. You have to really start taking care of yourself so you can take care of yourself on this mat. It worked out perfectly.
No, exactly. I mean, you think all the time and sweat you put in training, it'd be a shame if you just kept fueling yourself with the trash,
Correct.
The cheeseburgers, the different things.
Correct.
Not that you can't have that so often, but in a healthier balance.
Not every
everything.
Not every night having a McDonald's.
Yeah.
But the steps that I took personally, my body took huge steps forward doing this. Before we used to, like, if somebody was running, you kind of doing you're trying to run, but you're not really running. You don't really realize it at the time. But then not that long ago, we ended up chasing this guy down, and I ran and it wasn't really gassed out whatsoever. I wasn't even breathing that hard, but I chased him for a good bit. So that's when you realize, man, this stuff really works.
Helping overall fitness.
this stuff's actually legit.
So, working in law enforcement, you definitely got into a lot of altercations where people were trying to attack you or different things like that. And you felt pretty good, I'm sure. As an athlete in high school and then even moving on, you're always a fit guy as far as like athlete-wise.
Yeah.
The first time you stepped on the mats with guys even smaller than you, were you like, man, I know how to fight. I can handle this.
1,000%. I was like, this guy is so much smaller. I'm gonna muscle this guy. That lasted all of 10, 15 minutes of an hour long, and I was done. The best thing was I was forewarned. If you think you're gonna throw up, just get off the mat and you just go to the bathroom. I'm like, I've never had that. My entire life felt to throw up. And 10 minutes in, I'm like, I'm gonna throw up.
That's Julie's warning to everybody first.
I'm gonna throw up.
Tells everybody to go.
Yeah, this is, oh my God.
She points it out. Bathroom.
Yeah, bathroom's right here. But yeah, no, it's you don't really realize until you do this, and then you're like, wow, I need to continue.
Well, it's a different set of exercises, right? You're using every single muscle in your body, moving when you're laying down to getting up to turning to just trying to control another human being that doesn't want to be controlled.
Correct. Yeah. And again, I've used this through my career. You're just trying to apprehend somebody. you could use your size just to hold them down or do what you have to do. But coming through here and having someone who knows ways to get away from it, you can't just do that. You really need to know technique and you can't just strong arm someone. You got to use your shoulders, your arms, your legs, your core. You got to use everything just to kind of hold someone down. It sounds simple. Hold them down. Go ahead.
I mean, what was the turning point as far as when you're like, I mean, you still at an early age of your jiu-jitsu career, but what was the turning point when you're like, man, I actually do know some stuff?
We dealt with a gentleman on a call we had to deal with. He was having a mental health episode, and he was kind of flailing his arms around. I was just arm locks, just nothing crazy, no submissions. Yeah, it was more just a control. And every time he would move, I would readjust and move to another one. And I was doing it not even thinking. Mm-hmm. It was just second nature. And a gentleman that was with me is like, man, that was pretty cool. Yeah. You were doing all these arm moves, man. I just kind of watched you do it. And I was like, well, thanks. You could have helped. Anyway.
but also the helping, we talked about this a little while ago, was before the video, but that a lot of times you're getting in there and trying to control the situation, but the other person, your partner that's with you or whoever arrives on the scene to help out, ends up negating something you try to do because they don't understand where you're moving and going to for control.
Yeah, we again, another work incident. We were trying to take a gentleman down, and I was trying to lock his arm behind his back, and the other deputy didn't know what I was trying to do, so he's trying to pull him down while I'm trying to keep him up just so we can easily handcuff him. And I was finding more of what the other deputy was trying to do than what the gentleman was doing. Yeah. So we just hey, everybody just stop, just calm down. We're just go to the ground and be easy. But that's one of the things that a lot of law enforcement needs to do this.
Would you say that it's probably even safer for the perpetrator, for the person that you're trying to control and subdue? Is it a safer outcome now that you know jiu-jitsu versus before when you had to use whatever force?
Yeah, no, 1,000%. Before you just used.
You just got them down.
What they used to call pain compliance. You just grab somebody and you try to hold them, do what you can so you can cuff them. Here, I'm not overexerting myself because I know, hey, if I get him here, he can't go nowhere. I could just apply some weight on him and he's stuck. And I'll have an arm, the other deputy or whoever can grab the other arm, and we're done. And compared to trying to drag someone to the ground and fighting and do all those other things, it's so much easier, I find. And again, the more we do it here, the easier and second nature. You don't even realize.
I don't think I've asked you this, but especially the women that do jiu-jitsu with us, they've said it, and even people that just start, they just their awareness to the surroundings opens up more. Like before, they'd be walking like at night from a store, Walmart or whatever, and kind of going to their car or whatever. Now they kind of walking, your eyes are open, you kind of see everything around your surroundings. Is that a case of where you're working on something, but you could see? Maybe to have a friend coming in trying to help this guy or whatever.
Yeah, you can start gauging a person's stance.
Threat level.
Yeah, you can kind of again, in my profession, it's a little bit do it enough, you see it yourself. But the more I've done this, the more you can start seeing someone how they're maybe putting a little bit more extra weight on a back foot or something. You kind of like, what are you trying to come at me for? Yeah. And it's just you get more aware of maybe a stance or position, or you start thinking, oh, he's in this position, and if I turn this way, my back is now to him or her, and you're just kind of aware of
being aware of your duty belt and everything,
and just even just being out in a parking lot, you start realizing if I turn this way, I can still see, and just positions. The same thing like on the mat, you going open mat with somebody, you don't want to just give your back, so it's kind of here, it's almost second nature. You're going out you're leaving Walmart or Rouse's or wherever, and you're walking and somebody's passing you, might look a little shady, and you kind of give that little, so you don't give that back up. It's again, it becomes second nature. It kind of benefits you all the way around without you even realizing.
And even with that said, we do it a lot for people that are competing in tournaments and stuff, but it really applies to you too also. of starting out in bad positions. You know, we do those situational training where they have you back to start the round, and it's better to do it here on the mats with your back, somebody having your back versus
being in the street. 1,000%. It lets you gauge. Again, majority of people who get into any type of sport will think that I'm good where I'm at. It's a matter of time before I'm the top dog. But here you really gauge. Yeah, as cool as and tough and rough as I thought I was. There's that 140-pound guy that's dragging me all over the mat. But it's better to be done here where it's controlled and you could gauge where you are and what you can do and what you can deal with compared to being in the middle of a parking lot or wherever and having no idea and you're stuck.
Exactly. I'm glad you talked about the top dog. I mean, everybody says, oh, you need to check your ego at the door. Every single person walks through the door with some ego thinking, man, I could do this, whatever. And you really could tell a person once they step on the mats and actually do the stuff that come back, that are intrigued and want to learn, that they got their butts whooped, and there's something that can make them better.
Again, I was one of those people. I was, I'm a big guy. I'm able to power everybody, and that lasted 2 minutes. We did our warm up. We did the class, and it was drill time. Not drill time, but mat time. And I was done. Like, I was so dead, and I was just getting drug everywhere. And in my mind, I'm
and you were a much bigger guy than everybody you rode with.
And I kept thinking, man, you know what? I didn't sleep good. I was just tired. I didn't. You can make 101 excuses, but the fact of the matter is that I just wasn't there. As confident as I was, that my ego brought me to think I was, gonna steamroll everybody. No. The reality of it is, if you don't do it, you don't know what you're at. You don't know what you're capable of.
And I mean, you're a 22-year-old, so
yeah, 20 years ago.
Yeah, exactly. We in our 40s, training, and it's a much different sport for us. But it's all together, right? You could have a 40-something-year-old, 50, 60. Training with 20-year-olds, 18-year-olds, but it's going to be two different styles of rolling, right?
Yeah.
You got to manage your pace. Everybody has different styles, but you're not going to be able to sustain. You might be in great shape and be able to run at the beginning, but you won't be able to sustain that style over the years.
Yeah, absolutely. We all have our own little style. We train enough with each other that we all know, okay, this person's going to try to do this person's going to do that. Of course, I'm going to smash because that's just a big dude. That's what I'm capable of doing. But everybody has their own technique, and that's what's great about it is, we've all kind of get to experience what everybody is. And I say everybody, but people here. And of course, if you go into tournaments, if somebody starts moving like that, oh, wait, that's just like how this person does this. And I know that I've always done this wrong, and they've always caught me, so I'm self-conscious not to do this. So it all works out, all our different ages and sizes and everything else. It's a perfect mix. You get to experience all of it. So yeah, it's fun. I ain't gonna lie.
There's nothing like an older person just controlling a young,
energetic
awesome buck that's trying to go through everything like a Tasmanian devil.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, thank you, Aaron. That's our first episode on the Mat and Beyond.
That's right.
We'll see you next time.
All righty.
What you thought?